Hi everyone, it's Lou from CraftStash. Today I want to show you how to very quickly get your seasonal cards underway with some fantastic, very quick Christmas cards. Now I'm going to be using this brand new set from Creative Craft Products. These are brilliant staple dies to have in your stash. There's 6 designs which I'll be running through, and I'm going to make 6 cards, one with each design, in just 5 minutes. There's going to be lots of tips and tricks for you as well. Now each of the 6 card tutorials that I'm going to show you has something different, a little bit of a twist, and you can apply that to any one of the 6 die designs as well. You can find details of these fantastic new die sets down in the description below, and I'll make sure they're linked at the end for you as well. So let's get started with your Christmas card making. So my first tip, especially with dies like this that have lots of little bits to die cut out of different colours, is to try and get as many onto your die cutting plate as possible. All the different colour scraps of cardstock, definitely use up your scraps as well. It's a great way of reusing those without having to cut into large sheets. Now this first one is such an easy trick. If you've got a topper that looks a bit lost on your card, mask off an area with some washi tape and fill the space with some blending ink. I'm going to add some water for kind of a snowy background effect and dry that off, and then remove the tape, and you've got this colour block that is just going to help anchor your topper. And in this case I'm using the Merry Christmas die set from Creative Craft Products. I'm using the Christmas tree, the car and the presents. Now I'm also using my trick of putting my sentiment onto foam. This is the adhesive foam in black, so we've got a bit of a drop shadow, and this really does just bring the whole card together rather than having the car and the sentiment looking a little bit lost on the front of the card afterwards. So you can see you've got that drop shadow underneath the white Merry Christmas, a little bit of a splattering of white paint for some snow, and some more just over the tops of the card. There we have it, our first card, really nice and quick and easy. Now the next trick is to cut an aperture into your card base. I'm using the Jingle All the Way set here. I've obviously already die cut everything and I'm just paper piecing. So for the stockings I cut 2 layers, and I cut the heel and the toes out of the top layer to give it a really dimensional look. So I'm just gluing everything at the very top and hanging it onto that greenery at the top there, keeping it all to one side. I'm spacing out my sentiment underneath in a kind of a curve around the circle aperture, and that is such a quick card. It even looks great from the back. So onto the next card, I'm going to be using the Let It Snow. This is a snow globe. I'm cutting 1 layer of the snow globe out, but I'm keeping the waste. So just drawing whereabouts my snow globe's going to be and using that waste as a mask or a stencil to ink some lovely bright colour through. Remember, Christmas cards don't have to be reds and greens or just blues and whites. I've added some pinks and purples in here too. And then I'm going to put a silhouette of the inside of the snow globe in to make this look like a bit of a night scene. There's my Let It Snow sentiment. It actually looks like it's in a different orientation, but when you cut it, the words separate, so you can spread it across your card however you wish. More paint splats there, and just a few of the accent snowflakes to finish this off. Again, a flat card that's easy for postage but looks absolutely beautiful. Now onto the Holly Jolly set. This is probably my favourite card of all. It is stunning. It's really elegant. I cut the wreath and all the accessories, the leaves, from a teal cardstock. I'm layering them all up, gluing everything down completely flat, and I'm using a little bit of gilding wax over the tops. This really picks out the dimension in the wreath. And then I'm going to use exactly the same colour cardstock as a base for my card, using gold to accent for the sentiment and the bow, because that's the colour that I had in the gilding wax. How stunning is that? Now on to the 5th card, another elegant one, really simple. This is a gatefold, and I'm gluing the topper, which in this case is the Christmas tree, onto just one side of the gatefold, so just onto the left hand side, decorating it with glitter card and all keeping within the same sort of colour tones. And some of the decoration that I put on in teal, I'm cutting the same colour teal for my sentiment too, and I'm going to place that in the middle. You don't always have to have a sentiment on the front of your card. Again, a really nice, quick and elegant card. And lastly, the Father Christmas ho 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 one. I've cut the silhouette of Santa Claus's face right from the front of my card base, just inked around the edge to give it a little bit of a shadow, and I can also ink through the stencil as well, so I'm doing that on the beard and the moustache, just give it a little bit of depth. Then I layer up the Santa's face, the hat, the wool around the hat, some holly leaves on there, bearing in mind that everything has to keep within that silhouette. So the holly leaves are going to go on at a bit of a different angle to that on the front of the packet. Then I'm going to glue this to the inside of the card, but through the aperture. Lastly, just putting a sentiment on, and this can overlap the aperture a little bit if you wish. So there's just a few minutes showing you 6 different Christmas cards you can be making with any one of these 6 different designs of die sets as well. You'll find everything in this link here and in the description below. I hope you've enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments which one is your favourite.